Oh, sorry, we're actually going to have a look at the lineups, to be precise. That does make sense. We were having a chat about the players. I guess with that, we can have a mention of who we're going to be looking towards here as perhaps the stars of both teams. I think Oscar is definitely one of the given names on Sinners.
Yes, absolutely. I would say Oscar, for me, feels like the main one. I think we are ready to go live in towards the game, though. And we are, but it's very fast indeed. I see something glaring at me. It's 2-0 sAw off the rip. So we have missed a couple of rounds. Apologies for that one, ladies and gents. Out of our controls, we were getting things ready.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps a fast Dust2 game in terms of pace. Maybe it was not all that long, and it was just a very quick pistol. That can happen. The second round, the steamroll, perhaps. Although it must have been a purchase, because of course Sinners are not really rocking much to work with here. A single deagle, I believe, in that investment. Already one player down, and yeah, one of these slow crawls with the pistols, really just hoping that a mistake is going to come into play on the sAw side of things, but that looks unlikely. They've got a full set of rifles as well. They're thinking long term.
Roman. Ooh, we'll take a tag, but Sorry can come in. Clean house alongside ewjerkz. 3-0 for sAw. So he missed the opening, but of course it was a pistol and a conversion. What would have been a force buy, judging by the fact that the money was low that round for Sinners. So a pistol, a force buy conversion for sAw, and then of course the gun round against the eco converted just then. So now we get the first true gun round out for Sinners. AK coming out, Oscar and his AWP, and we shall see. What have they got to show?
Yeah, we'll have a talk about the veto, of course, as soon as we get a bit more downtime. We'll focus for now on this gun round from both sides, and, well, heavy long as well. The initial presence from the CT side was 3 players, now they've backed it off, left just Roman, and he's going to have an entire team bursted out of that long door. Is able to at least fall back as the smoke goes down, retreats back to the safety with his teammates, and, well, for now they're forced to give up that long control, meaning they do need to take short. You don't want to give the option for that pincer movement in towards the bomb site.
Roman holding for the cross, but really given his way. Oscar with this AWP is posted back plat and might potentially even get a chance. sAw, the worst thing they could possibly do right now is swing to have a little check in towards long. That'll cost them.
Ooh. Unless you have a fantastic flash initially to go ahead and allow for that peek. Unfortunately, it was only the 1-for-1, but considering they have that lower control and pretty much everything on the map is being given up, they know what Sinners are doing. So they still have the presence in place. ewjerkz able to get that initial frag. B-stick goes down. Boost up above the car allows Shock to at least return 1 kill, but it still left Oscar all alone. Yet to get a frag on the board, and, well, although he has gone ahead and very quickly nullified that situation, he's still got 2 more players to deal with. And only 30 seconds to make that happen as well.
Arstosh. He'll hold for any flank out via long, but this done, surely. I mean, Bomb will go down. He's actually going to give himself a chance. They potentially even give Oscar maybe a little bit too much respect there, but he's seen off. And that is going to be sAw taking another round in their favor, 4-0. And now they converted against the pistol, the low buy, the half buy, and the full buy. So this is the full quartet here for sAw. Everything you want to see at the side, coming in towards this, setting the tone early and looking pretty clean.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they definitely did give him a bit too much respect there, but you've got to remember Oscar's name definitely deserves some respect as well. He's been playing Counter-Strike at a top level longer than most of the people in the server have probably known the words Counter-Strike, so it is pretty impressive. But yeah, I think a little bit scared there once that initial kill on towards the site came in. You'd have the flanker, so if he was watching that flank on long and he gets that kill, suddenly it's 1 versus 1. So I think they played it maybe perhaps as they needed to in that situation. Sinners, this time no op, it's going to be just rifles. There's a kill Lil in the hands of Marisco, and let's see what the plan is going to be, because it looks to be fairly standard initially anyway. Get the players through lower, maybe get up close to those mid doors, and perhaps try and burst out and see if they can overpower ewjerkz, who's on his own at the moment.
Yeah. ewjerkz, he is just going to fall back towards side. Probably the smart call. Little does he know that there was the potential of a mid-take coming through, and even a contact play, which could have been quite risky for him. Sinners, off the back of that bomb on, it has given them at least sufficient money to buy back in towards this. They got bomb plot and loss bonus. That's more than enough, basically, to work with. That's it, Story. Gotta get at least one. Actually, just gonna drop off and give him the respect.
Yeah, solid molly forcing him to do so, really. And follow up then in from the CT side, like, okay, well, if you're going to molly it, we'll do the same and just leave you kind of waiting back there for a while. And a great nade actually takes 3 players down into quite a weakened position, especially with this M4 in play on the bomb site. ewjerkz not going to be landing any headshots as of yet to take advantage of that damage. Just pinned in on the bomb site, trying to stay alive. And he's doing so quite successfully, allowing rotations to come in, but he's not able to take anyone with him to the grave. Instead, it falls to his teammates in ewjerkz. He says, okay, I can step up and handle this, don't worry. One more player on the bomb site, one in towards Graffiti. It's going to be the trades, and it goes the way of sAw once again. It is one of the closer rounds for sure. I mean, look at the health on ewjerkz and Roman. But that doesn't really matter because they've got money to get those purchases back in. And yeah, sure, again, the bomb goes down. Sinners can keep on buying, but they need to get some round wins pretty damn soon.
Yeah, the main thing, and all they really care about, is just the fact that they're getting rounds on the board. I mean, yes, Sinners get a bomb plant. Yes, they get a few kills, but all that really matters to sAw now, the position they are in, is where they sat, 5-0 up, not feeling ultimately too much pressure, and I think that's such a big thing for them. I think for Sinners, they need to start trying to change things in their favor. They've got to be maybe a little bit different in terms of how they approach the tempo, whether it's stepping up and trying to get in their face. I feel like Story getting just a little bit too much leeway, as seen by Story getting the first full blind through a smoke.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea, but unfortunately the timing was just there for Story to take the shot. He got in position just before the smoke had bloomed, so I was able to line the angle up. What a trade from Oscar, though. He's stuck on the glass cannon off, but it won't matter if he goes ahead and just picks players off like that. To successfully come in with a trade on towards Story. Again, though, most of their presence is towards long, but this pushing towards tunnels is going to be very risky. B-Stick, you have to get a frag, but if he can shut this down, this gives them the ability if they wanted to go back, but no, he's gone. They've already committed themselves with one player up long in the meantime as well. Now they know tunnels is being pushed, so they don't really have any options. It looks like the A bomb site is where they have to take this.
Let's go quiet, though, before they at least ultimately conclude that decision. They are waiting. There's a pretty sizable gap. Creeps underneath him. Mariska will take a bit of damage as well. Roman's still sitting up close. His material's trying to tap from range. It's a awkward spot that they're in. They're going to try and boost above this. I like this play, and it will net them yet another kill. Surely now, 2v4. It's got to go the way of sAw. All they have to do is play the numbers game. Actually, he'll get the first. Last man is Oscar, though, at range. He can see the bomb, which is a positive. And he's going to get kills for it as well. Oscar's still not cleared. Oscar just misses that second, which is absolutely needed. And the bomb again defused. And another round going the way of sAw.
Yeah, unfortunately, if he knew the health, if he had an AK to swap out to perhaps there, that could have been a little bit more of a slightly easier situation for him to play out. It was a bit rough just with the amount of smokes around. With the op, of course. The bomb plant again goes down, but if they want to keep on buying, it means, again, Oscar will not have that op to work with. He's going to be stuck on the rifle. While we have a bit of downtime here, while we have the tactical timeout coming in, we probably should discuss the veto. We never actually got a chance to get around to it, of course. So this is the map choice of Sinners. We kind of expected this. We weren't sure where the veto would go. I think Dust2 was one map we were pretty much certain would be in play. Because Sinners do love it so much, and sAw, on the other hand, didn't have great stats on it before the player break, but it looks like they might have put some time into it now that it's back in the pool.
Yeah. It's an interesting spot, though, I think, for Sinners. Sooner rather than later, they absolutely have to get around. I mean, within the next 2, if we see sAw go anywhere in the region of 8-0 up, I mean, even 7-0 feels outlandish. It might just be too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, they're nearly halfway there already now, of course, with the scoreline nowadays only being 13. So even 6-0 is quite a peculiar spot to be in for Sinners, especially again on their own map choice, where we'd expect them as the team, I would say, with the stronger firepower overall to be succeeding. Instead, they're just no one's really able to get any kills at all, and the teamwork from sAw has been perfection to always ensure very solid trades. Also, the usage of nades has been pretty good.
Bit of control.
Standard. Yeah.
Taking towards tons. I mean, I don't... At the moment, the bomb's committed towards B, but all they can really... All sAw have to do, really, is just keep replenishing the smokes towards tunnels is going to keep them stuck there for a while. Smoke going to come via CT. Molotov behind it, and Material's going to stay up in front. He can just contact this. Material's is in a strong position. He has support too. What a hold.
Yeah, played perfectly. The bait and switch, wait for the initial contact, and once the attention of that second player initially who was holding the corner was taken, was exactly when the peak came in. That couldn't have played out any better. 3-on-5 though, I mean, it's not an unwinnable position, but they have not got a ton of time to go ahead and turn this around either. There's still a player in towards CT that they're aware of, 2 on the B bomb site as well. This is not going to be an easy take. Smoke goes down at the very least. Oscar's going to look to lead the way. Mackey's actually found some aggression in towards the tunnels. They wanted some info on the CT side, and well, they've gotten it. It looks like the hit is indeed coming back towards that B bomb site. Harris in towards the barrels, gets the spray down. Both of them dropped in towards the tunnels, leaving Oscar alone. Either way, he didn't really have the time to make that happen anymore. Bomb had been dropped towards the tunnels itself. He would have had to have ran all the way through, got the kill, got it, and then back to the site. I think he had like maybe 15 seconds or something remaining. It's 7-0. Sinners still yet to get themselves on the board, and this time around, they don't even get the bomb plan.
Yeah, this is now where things are getting quite dire. 7-0, and it probably will be 8-0, like you mentioned. No bomb plant, that means no buy. And in doing so, we've put ourselves in such a tough spot. If you're a Sinners fan, where they just aren't able to compete at all. And honestly, sAw really aren't doing anything, for the most part, they're not doing anything too outlandish. It's just simply winning out the aim duels. That nade is chunky. Story will bail out his teammate as well, as it looked for a second like ewjerkz might fall to the rushing Tech 9s.
Up. He didn't know. He had someone doomed in his crosshair there over towards the tunnels. Did you see the B-hop though to get away from that nade? I think he might have died otherwise. That was smooth movement. Falling back from the tunnels and looking maybe for the late long take. They have gone ahead and banked themselves over towards this area a few times, although no, it looks like instead they might want to either bring it towards short or mid. Both are decent positions with those pistols. Of course, if you can catch someone up close and personal, there's no one aggressive on short for now, as we can see. So bursting out from short itself against these AKs will not be an easy task, especially with only one flash, I believe. There is a smoke and a molly though as well.
Their time. Materis tapping back ram. Ooh, little labored here from Materis. This is getting just a little bit uncomfortable. Thankfully, he will find his form, and actually it all slots itself into place. And it ends with a flawless round. Damage dealt, and a fair chunk of it, in all fairness. But it is sAw 8-0. This is a cracking performance out from sAw. Sinners look like a shadow of their former selves that we saw prior to the season.
This VO initially worried us because we thought, yeah, going on to Nuke, it's not a great map for Sinners, but they should likely be up by a map already after Dust2. Maybe a good scoreline as well, but no, this could be an absolute triumphant win here for sAw, and that could put them in a perfect position to take the 2-0 going on towards Nuke, because we were saying, of course, Inferno as the decider potentially won that favorite Sinners as well. So this is really ideal scenario for sAw and worst case for Sinners.
Has to be said that right now things are drastically getting out of control. B6 0-9.
Yeah.
Tough for him. He's actually normally very important. Nuke is a great map for sAw. It's always been their map for the longest time. As long as this core of 5 for sAw has been together, Nuke has always been their map. And I think with what we've seen, at least at the moment, this is really, really damning. They get 9 here as well. They've got to go to the opening kill. Smoke again into those tunnels. Aristosh is not really giving any fight. He doesn't need to. It's an angle that's not often cleared either. At least gets one from here, surely.
Actually, a trade back shot in towards the middle that comes through. Decent bit of damage on the ewjerkz. They spot him crossing back towards B as well, so that might influence their decision about where they want to end it. For now, the bomb actually continuing to creep in towards mid. I guess with knowing that they have that damage done as well does make things a little bit more doable. I was going to say that angle is going to pop up any moment, and it's the AK that wins it out. Headshots galore from the CT side. leaving only Morisco, and he gets flanked out from Roman. It's going to be 9-0. Even when things begin to look a tiny bit stressful for a moment, this somehow just all falls into place and ends perfect for sAw.
Yeah. This is pretty damning. I mean, we, started a little bit late. We had a little bit of a tech issue at the start. I think we still might finish at this rate, maybe before even the A stream, which started, I think, a solid like 15 minutes before us. This is a crazy run of things at the moment. What a showing out from sAw, who are in lightning fast fashion got themselves up to a 9-0. I mean, even currently, TSM and 3D Max, which is over on the A stream, has actually only played 7 rounds, while we've played 9. That just shows the pace at which sAw are winning these rounds as well.
Yeah, we didn't obviously get a lot of time to chat before the game because they did get kind of rushed in. We had to get going, but we were chatting away to ourselves off camera as well. We were mentioning Dust2, the pace can be a little bit slow, a little bit boring sometimes. But we were saying overall, we thought this was going to be a very good game between two teams, and we were wrong on both of those points because right now Sinners are struggling, and as you said, this has been an incredibly quick-paced D2 game so far. Even just within the rounds themselves, Sinners have tried a few slower plays, but sAw like to get up in their face. We've seen Story pick up those opening kills early on multiple times, so the pressure's just always on Sinners.
Yeah, it is a showing from sAw, which at the moment, this is a crazy run of things where it's concerning. And this is another round which expectations are probably pretty tempered. Simple for the first. Second, I just continue peeking offense. Molotov will come over. A couple have come out. The nades are bad, though. B-Stick will finally get us first. That Deagle headshot onto a Story's AWP.
Half expecting B-Stick to come out with a Deagle ace here because he is normally such a solid player. It'd be a nice moment for him to go ahead and show that off. Roman looking to rush in and see if he can maybe deny that bomb plant. Now has the cover of the smoke. His teammates aren't so lucky though. That F9 of Morisco causing some damage. Actually gets a second on the flank. Oh my god, Morisco somehow has brought this down into the 1 versus 1. He hasn't got the health to work with, but he has an up, and he lands it through the corner of the wall. Ares tried to bait that out, knowing he likely had the AWP in play, but well, Morisco just popped off out of nowhere and finally has welcomed Sinners to the scoreboard. Off the back of a tactical pause as well, off the back of some weaker weapons, they were just kind of like, okay, let's try something risky. We haven't got a lot to lose right now. And well, thanks to a big individual play, they are able to make it happen. And shout out to B-Stick, because if he didn't get that initial Deagle kill, I don't think they were getting past Gandalf.
Yes, I think you're probably right. Kind of a crazy spot in which we put ourselves in, where can that give Sinners enough to work with? Maybe not. I think, they still need to be in a complete sort of resurgence, but I think absolutely the way I look at this is if we can get maybe 3 rounds here and then heading towards the second half and I'm going to look at up towards 6 rounds, 9-6, so that level of kind of round off the round, this kind of situation where they need to get consistency, that might be enough, right? But so far, it's such an outlandish spot they're in because sAw have been so dominant from the get-go. I really don't know if there's enough on offer from them. Story straight back to winning ways as he catches Morisco. It's good. Majki takes so much damage. I guess to the Molotov, I want to say, out towards Long. So, yeah, a lot of damage towards Mikey there.
That Story's third or fourth opening as well with the up within the first 10 or 15 seconds of a round beginning, so he's been very useful to that CT side. And yeah, for Sinners at the very least, I think they need to find some form before heading on. So just goes like this, and sAw trade it back and manage to start shooting towards that 13-1 scoreline, then Sinners are still in a lot of trouble. Let's see just how intimidated they are right now. Shock. I believe that Shock, yeah, just creeping up around the short smoke. Nutrus is somewhat keeping his eye on it. There's also a player in towards Goose, rather. Not being given a chance.
Shock's in a really good position here. He's continuing to creep on forward, and they actually aren't looking in this position. Now he's in towards Gandalf. I mean, this is a really, really strong spot. The God Flash, the Palm Tree Flash won't affect him, which is the main thing for me. And then does give him a chance to get a kill, and he does. They completely overlooked his position. God Flash comes over, though. It's a beaut. It's always going to net you a kill. If done well. Oscar needs to be careful. He's been spotted. Now unknown quantity. Issue as well. There's that bomb's dropped. Not top side, but Oscar and Beastick combine. And Sinners are going to find themselves a second. Finally getting on the board here.
Yeah, I mean, 9-3, while not the scoreline they would have been aiming for by any means, will be a good recovery from where they were sitting at just a few rounds ago. And I mean, let's be real, it looked like that previous round was not going to go too well for them after the initial picks from Story and the damage that had been done. If not for Shock's play up through short, then I don't know what they really would have gotten done there. So it's not the most consistent way to win out rounds, but there we go. Oscar winning some early off battles could help them. It's actually Aras, I guess, who tried to peek mid. Either that or Oscar has gotten better with the reactions as time has gone on. Gotten across. Might have been what happened. It looks more like he tried to strafe up close. A little bit of a misplay. Perhaps the confidence is flowing for sAw, and that can cause some issues. Although we're going to see more aggression now. Story's pushed up through short. I'm not sure if he's made his position known, whether he's scoped or not, but a flash is going to go through for Marisco to try and take the fight, but there's two of them waiting. ewjerkz over the smoke there as well, back in towards the mid doors, is able to shut down B-Stick, so no backup at all towards short. It's Long instead that's taken in the meantime, but that's with a man advantage sitting currently in favor of sAw.
Shock. Going to try and move up short himself, and he, in the same way, could actually be caught. The CT player is still deciding about whether to go towards door. Roman. Just jumping through information. Oh, that's a good shot, though, from Oscar. Give it a pick zone. He'll take it every day of the week. Nade misses from Matera. Second, though, is there. That was over. Breaks open the smoke. Story finds one, but he can't get the second. 2v2. Sinners have lost the last 2v2, and it might be more of the same. I mean, sAw may have said I've lost the last 2v2. Might be more of the same. Bomb going to go down. This is tough. Both are in towards CT. A really difficult position to get out from.
Head. Did spot it. Couldn't land it for a while. Eventually does get the job done. Ooh. And I was going to say Oscar had already been naded into oblivion on that bomb site. So he just didn't really have the health to work with, unfortunately. Nor the weapon. At least not in that fight, because, well, as you can see, ewjerkz and Mutures were playing well off of each other. There was no real chance to isolate the 1 versus 1. With that, though, it is going to be the halftime, 10-2. When we come back, we're going to have to see what Sinners have in them for that CT side. They're going to need a massive comeback before we head on towards Nuke, so stick with us.
Alrighty, welcome back. We had a considerably quicker half than I think we expected to. Not only were the rounds hella quick, but it was a 10-2 scoreline. sAw, I've already got double digits, which is a pretty crazy showing out from them. Beastic misses the block on towards the Xbox smoke. sAw, if they get this pistol round, I think it might be the beginning of the end. Yikes, opening two fights are not good.
Yeah, the pistols, I mean, can be very hit or miss. And when you're caught up close with the USB in tunnels against Glocks, it is probably the worst case scenario. The trade, at the very least, has come in, and, well, some risky plays being thrown out here from Marisco. We already seen him be the Tech 9 hero earlier on to get them on the board and stop it from being potentially the 12-0 half. And, well, with the USB, he's also able to pull off a couple of frags, but I don't think it's going to be enough this time around, as Beastic is left alone. He's had a very rough game. Has woken up, definitely, since they kind of came alive at that 8-0 scoreline, but a 1 versus 3 double as frags, it's probably too much of an ask right now.
Yeah, Beastic, he had a real slow game. He was 0-9, I think it was, or 0-8, one of the two, and it was tough, right? No two ways about it. And safe to say that he's not getting probably any more kills at the end of this one. I think he'll probably prioritize keeping all that armor and making sure it doesn't get tagged too much at the end. It's the way to go about this. Nice and easily, we will be seeing a 11 for sAw. And like I said, you get a pistol, I think this one's done. I really do not see a way in where they get back into this. It's probably this. I mean, honestly, I normally hate it, but if ever there was a time to force buy on the CT side, despite losing the pistol, now probably would be that time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you can afford to sit in eco and then try and just play for the overtime at this point. You just need to try and make this happen if you're Sinners. Try and get the gun rounds going, and even if you don't make a full comeback happen, try and win out a few gun rounds, because you don't want to go into Nuke with this in the back of your mind just after getting steamrolled. It would be nice to wake up, maybe get the aim going a little bit. That does seem to be a bit of an issue for most of them right now.
Wow. 11-2. Sinners, what have you got for us, fellas? I mean, at this point, everything they've tried is not gone to plan. You lose this, and it's probably the game. If there was a time to turn the tide, it would kind of have to be now. First fight! Oh, it's messy. Beastie takes a lot of damage. Doesn't really deal a hell of a lot back himself. Spamming behind the smokes is risky. A good little 1-2 punch there. And that was the bomb spotted over towards Spawn.
Yeah, not ideal. They can afford to just leave a player in lower tunnels now, one up close on the doors, and that gives them quick rotations over towards A if necessary here on the CT side. So that is one small advantage for them to work with. A decent start there from Oscar on the scout as well. It is traded back on towards Beastic, but they've still got that player in the long pit as well, who's going to be a bit of a nuisance. And as soon as they try and deal with him, Oscar's scout likely has a view on them. So it will be difficult here for sAw by having the better weapons. Marisco just staying alive again, allowing and ensuring rather that there's going to at the very least be the trade on his death. Unfortunately, Oscar not quite able to get the frag, only the damage for now on towards Dory, leaving them in a 2-on-2 with 40 seconds still on that clock.
Flank. Oh. You can go B now if you want, really. You can just run all the way. I mean, I know it's 30 seconds, but they probably could if you go through mid.
Yeah. No, I think they just want to go kill him. It looks like they're aware they've done some damage. I mean, it was definitely risky, though. Story was A health, so I was with you that maybe perhaps falling back and just getting that bomb towards B was the safer option, but I guess they were like, yeah, whatever. It's 11-2. Sure, they won out that. They won out a couple of rounds, but we have been steamrolling them otherwise, so let's just keep on doing that. Show the confidence and don't show any doubt, I guess, before they move on towards Nuke, where they're hoping to just keep this up. I mean, Nuke was where we thought potentially sAw could come through with a bit more of a one-sided scoreline, especially now if they're coming off the back of such a one-sided victory here on Dust2 as well. So
yeah,
let's see, what's the plan? A lot of aggression again from the CT side and towards the lower tunnels from Mackie. Able to find one before he goes down, but some decent damage was done on top of that. Unfortunately, Marisco also tagged up towards long, means it's a 4-on-4 here where both teams just have one player weakened. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, tag on towards Marisco is potentially pretty damning, but then same to Materis with him being low, it makes him vulnerable to the scouts, the MP9, I mean anything really. Double stack into a short. It's a good molly. Might actually force a bit of engagement here. And P9. Roman. Peeks up. Try not to get his head ripped off. And he will get his kill. He will get traded. I don't think you want to face a scout at that range, honestly. ewjerkz, he's crisp as, but no point, in my opinion. Tried to time a shot there. The nade does do a bit of tag damage as well. It is a 2v3. Numbers favor the lesser buy.
Against the two AKs and, well, not a ton of time. 40 seconds is enough, but they're still separated for now. One towards tunnels, one sitting in and around on mid. Maybe hoping to catch someone rotating back towards that A bomb site, but we can see it's just the scout for now that's been left in towards the CT spawn. On low health as well, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Story going for the pre-fires. Does hopefully keep the attention on mid for a moment, but those steps are going to be heard now as he backs his way up towards short. I don't know if Marisco can do anything about this. I think trying to just stay alive and keep the 3-on-2 for the retake is the way they may have to go, but with two scouts, that's not a great option either. I just don't think they have any good options here, to be honest. They've got to give it a go. Initial kill's going to be coming in from the AKs, and, well, it doesn't look like Marisco's going to have anything to say about it at all. He had hoped to stay alive and join his teammates instead. He is now left alone. Spots the head. What a shot. Kicks things off with an optimistic beginning. Spots the head on ramp as well. Not quite landing it this time, but he's still keeping hope alive with those shoulder peaks. Somehow avoiding the bullet so far, but no, Story eventually is going to put an end to this story, I suppose. 13-2. Again, Sinner's map choice not going at all as they would have expected. And we never really got around to mention it, but we were asked which team were we siding with, I suppose, during this game, our predictions, and we went with Sinners as well.
Yeah, dude, I honestly thought Sinners would be able to come in towards this game and showcase how good they are and can be, and this is a side who I caught price. We are just about heading towards map number 2 coming up in a second. It is going to be Nuke on the cards. This has always been a very good map for sAw, and considering that they just won 13-2 on Sinners map pick, Dina, I'm not feeling too hopeful right now for Sinners.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to go over how it might have how it might have played out like this in the initial map, and we were saying perhaps Sinners took Dust2 as a map slightly for granted over the break. They had really good stats on it beforehand. They might have focused elsewhere. We did already see them today go to like quadruple or 5 overtimes against Nexus here on Nuke, so we know it's a map that they can play. But again, it's the form that we just saw that really is worrying us, not intended. So let's see what they've got for us here in the early stages, at least kicking things off on the CT side. That is a positive.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one. The T side has normally been pretty good from sAw. It's something in which they play such an aggro stance, but Shock and B-Stick start very well. A couple of shots go their way. The bomb will go down. Oscar maybe missed his opportunity. His window might have gone there. Bomb down. This is a weird spot. It's a 2v4. The fights are actually looking good. Surely we're not going to be losing a 2v, technically 5, in all fairness. And it looks like we might be about to. Oscar's all that's left. Needs to try and find something, and he will put it into a 1 versus 1. Oh, hang on. Okay, 10-second defuse. Surely we're not going to get full 10 seconds, are we? Lord. Surely we're not. He's on rafters. Oh my god, and Story will see it off. If he had a kit, he wins that.
Yeah, I mean, if he had the kit, he just he would have got it with a straight up stick, but he also would have had the ability to just tap it and fake out that peak, and then Story didn't actually have Kevlar, so with him being on like 60 or so health, I believe, the fight would have been decent, with a decent chance of going the way of Oscar either way. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. A kick gives him a much better chance there in that situation. I was surprised that went so well initially on that ramp push. I think Shock and B-Stick both took dinks, right? Shock was down to 1 health and B-Stick was on 5 health before either of them managed to get a kill, and then somehow they got both of the headshots and just backed away. So even the early situation was a bit unlikely. It's unfortunate, though, they weren't able to capitalize and turn it into a round win. Instead, now they're working with the force buy up against what is just a straight-up B-rush, as we can see here, with already an opening kill in favor of sAw.
Scope. He's up close with Mikey. Bomb goes down. I mean, how are we even going to give this retake a go? I don't even know what's going to happen. They might actually opt to save. They force bought in here, and I think the 3 remaining might just want to keep hold of what they've got. Yeah.
Wait, you. They have Kevlar on everyone, a scout, a little bit of utility there on Oscar as well that's been salvaged. There's no point throwing those away. It is heavy on the rifles though for sAw, so if they could take an exit or two, that'd be nice. So they're not completely falling out of range. I do want to see if they can cause a bit of damage in the meantime, and it's a decent setup to go ahead and do so. The nade might even get the finish on Story. No, not quite. Down to 10 health somehow. A follow-up shot from the scout. If he can keep them in place, I think Story might be kind of screwed from this bomb already. The no-scope lands. It's another one. He got that, yeah. It was the final kill that was the bomb on Oscar. Yeah, he landed that no-scope headshot. Morisco nearly dies as he's recovering the AK, but just about gets it in time. So that's a decent save. I would say that damage and 1 AK carried forward is better than the MP9, the Scout, and the Deagle they had alongside the Kevlar. That was worthwhile. The problem is they can't immediately capitalize on it. So Morisco's going to have to do a decent bit of damage with this AK2, preferably 3 kills at the very least. And Vika, so sAw again are going to be left just about scraping together in the following round to hopefully give Sinners a chance to come alive and start building something up on the CT side, because they need to make that happen early on. We cannot see a repeat of Dust2.
No, it's true. It's very, very true. It's another force by loss, though, for Sinners after losing the pistol. And it puts you at such a back foot. ewjerkz the first one towards Morisco. That's the rifle done already. So not a dream sort of start in this situation. Tries to get aggro. Doesn't work in their favor. And AK not scooped up just yet. There's Mikey falls as well. I think it all might just slot itself into his place. Normally when I cast Nuke, I always like to say, if you can get 5 rounds in your T side, you're in a pretty good spot. And I mean, the fact that sAw are going to get 3 without too much competition is not a decent sign at all.
I was going to say Beastic has a Zeus. I noticed that early on he got naded, I think, immediately out of the hut when he tried to take this position early on. Now ate another nade, and well, it's just going to stick by hoping to maybe take 1 kill. Oh, he gets wall banged. That is worst case scenario. I think that only happened because Shock shot, right? They were like, okay, let me see if we can maybe do a little bit of damage if he is up close and personal. Either way, 4 on 2. A little bit of aggression towards the lobby. The Deagle does land a couple of shots, but it's not enough for the kill, unfortunately. So Oscar's left all alone, and well, he's had some promising kills here early on, of course. The amount of damage he was able to do in that previous round with the Scout, I don't know if it's going to be quite as easy with a CZ from Heaven, though. Yeah, this time, no exit damage at all to be done. 4 players left standing there for sAw. They're all AKs as well, so there's not a ton of reinvestment that has to come in. Overall, that damage in the round before, when Oscar, of course, got all those scout kills, does still mean that the economy isn't fantastic for sAw, but they've got enough in the reserve for at least 3 players to buy, especially if they get a bomb plant, even if they were to lose this round.
Yeah.
So Sinners are going to have a tough time coming alive here. It'll be a couple gun rounds in a row that they need to take, ideally convincingly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, we need to see this Sinner side put up, you know, bare minimum 6 rounds. Even then, it does feel like potentially a bit of a big ask. It's been one of those showings where for sAw, when they get going on this map, they are so difficult to stop, and this might be another one of them. They were brilliant towards that map number 1 on Dust2. Look clean as all hell. And it might just be more of the same here. Ooh, swing and a find from ewjerkz, but Shock needs to go 1-for-1 there at the bare minimum. The fact that he doesn't has already given sAw a big advantage.
Oh, a little bit of a burn there for Mikey, giving away his exact position. That is unfortunate. ewjerkz wants to fight, it looks like. He is backed up, and they have a player now close on the double. Oh, so much damage done to Oscar as well, as he's about to eat nade. Can't escape it. The second one was on the way in as well. No matter which direction he went there to escape it, he was dying. 1 kill finally found for Mackie, and he's about to be backed up again by a teammate coming in from behind, I believe. But is there really much that they can do about this? I think saving again is one of the better options that they've been left with, especially as Story takes down Morisco. Beastic's above him in Heaven. Staying alive is clearly the goal at this point.
Yeah.
And it's only going to be a single M4.
Yeah, I gotta say, that's not gonna happen, is it? Ooh. You really do hate to see a 4-0 and rapidly finding 4-0 as well. And another thing as well where sAw, it's not even being made expensive for them, I think is the big issue here. Last 2 rounds, only the 1 casualty. It's not enough, is it? It just shows simply how dominant things have been at the moment.
Yeah, again, we went with the prediction coming into the game that we were on Sinner's side. We thought they were going to be the favorites. We didn't think it was a massive advantage. We just weren't sure where the VO was going to go. We thought Sinners would probably end up with a slight advantage in that regard. And I still agree that Dust2 should have been theirs in terms of having an advantage there. And Inferno was a solid decider for them as well. But it just doesn't look like we're going to make it that far. And sAw. All being fragging incredibly well. Not with one clear standout star by any means. It's been everyone stepping up and doing their job, which is what you need to see. Clearly, they have put good work in over the player break. Not to say Sinners haven't, but at the moment, things are just kind of unraveling for them. This isn't the nuke that they put in earlier when they ended up 28-26. Did lose that game earlier, so perhaps they kind of just burned themselves out a bit. Let's see what Oscar can do, though, with the deagle. Mollied away from the angle, so the answer is absolutely nothing for the moment.
Whew. And him being mollied away as well means that ewjerkz very quickly finds a kill of his own accord. He might want more as well. ewjerkz just, on this sort of form, doesn't miss. My God, him and s48 combined for kills apiece down towards that lower site. Shock will get a consolation. There won't be anything more than a consolation. Actually, will that AK even save? Story, other ideas, and he'll make sure that that is not the case. A third round in a row, but the only kill that is just one out for Sinners, not even taking casualties, is a tough spot.
Any vidi vici. Yeah, no, their economy's getting ridiculous at this point as well. As you said, the poorest player sitting on 5,000. ewjerkz just behind them at 5.5. They have everything they could really ask for. No, not even bothered to pull out the op at the moment. Story's control of that AK looked pretty damn smooth in the previous round, so he's happy to continue on and maybe steal one from Oscar at some point if he gets the chance, which, well, he's definitely going to have an opportunity to face up against one in this round. After working with the op, but it's a quicker A play coming in from sAw. Lost the initial player and decided, screw this, let's just burst onto the upper bomb site. Mollying towards heaven, forced B-Stick to make a choice whether to fall back or take the fight. He decided the fight was the way to go, and it just hasn't worked out. As it really hasn't, as the duels just really haven't been going their way at all throughout this series. I wanted to say this map, but not like Dust2 fared much better. Oscar left to try and save the op, and, well, they're probably going to hunt them down. They can definitely afford to do so. ewjerkz already nearby. Oh, this might be awkward, though.
Good reaction from Oscar, in all fairness. Surely you hunt here, though, if you saw. You've got absolutely nothing to lose. Yeah, the rifles will fall, but I honestly don't think it's really the worst thing in the world to lose. 4 flashes over. They're trying to make his life a living hell. And they might just get it. The flying deagle doesn't do it, but the bomb will.
Worth it. Yeah, they got the tiniest bit of damage, and that was enough to make sure he went down to the bomb. Worthwhile, as you said. Sure, they lose 3 players, but they've still got plenty of money. I mean, it could come back to bite them if Sinners now immediately take like 4 rounds in a row or 3 rounds in a row and just break their economy, but that's unlikely considering now they don't have much of an economy of their own. Left with some deagles and MP9s. Perhaps feeling a little freer, though, to try something risky. We did see them find success in the pistol round with the ramp push. Perhaps a pinch in from lobby and ramp with these MP9s could be the way to go. The deagles to back up on the peaks. Let's see what the plan is. The door burst, actually, I believe, from sAw right now, and they've already gotten 2 kills. ewjerkz has been popping off, not just here, but I believe was one of the better players back on Dust2 as well.
Yeah.
Liking what we're seeing from him. Good position
crazy.
already.
Just the pace at which sAw are playing these rounds, absolutely mind-boggling. Will they clear Oscar is the question I ask myself, though. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. He's going to be left with a deagle, can't deny the bomb point. He might get a consolation kill here, and he will. More would be nice. Door going to be opening, closing his face. Nice shot. Can't get another. Last one of the MP9 is now spotted on towards the site. They didn't know where he was. Tap on towards the bomb. They know he's not on it. This is so scrappy. And Roman will see it off. 7-0. I mean, we're hearing... I think we've been live with this map for about 5-6 minutes. These rounds are getting done so quickly. sAw, they've got other plans. They got something on, and they want to be done in 20 minutes. And at this rate, they might actually be.
Yeah, maybe they felt bad for Sinners having to play so many overtimes on Nuke earlier. They were like, don't worry, we got you. We'll make sure you don't go over the usual amount of rounds for 2 maps. We'll keep this one quick. Nah, this is just a rough day for Sinners, it looks like. Nexus are a good team as well, so clearly their form was a little bit stronger earlier in the day. Again, also, this is one of those tournaments where everyone knows who they're going to be playing against, so it also comes down partly to preparation. So perhaps sAw are doing a little bit better in that regard, but again, we're not seeing anything crazy in terms of strategy. They just look so good at the basics right now.
Loving what I'm seeing. It's simple, it's effective, there's just so little going wrong.
The Was this the change they needed, a double up setup?
Yeah, maybe. At this point, what have we got to lose?
Could shut down those quick plays that have been such a problem for them. Never mind. Already a kill comes through. It's not on either of the uppers, but Aras continues to find these openings just completely uncontested.
Just relentless. Shark is up close. One of the AWPs. Pop flash to clear would be nice. Yeah, so far, though, they're happy just to pump the brakes a little bit. First time we've actually seen the side even slow down. That's add in all fairness. Flash comes round. Doesn't really do all too much. Already got the numbers advantage, so realistically, they can just play aggro. They don't actually need to do anything too insane. If they just barrel in towards A and just play trays, they probably get absolutely everything they need. That, however, is not the play. ewjerkz swings in towards the AWP and he will die. Beastie gonna find one of his own. Playing isolated, Story misses a shot. Maybe a chance. Flash, a second to come behind it as well. He's trying to give coverage, but they're getting picked apart now. 2v4. This might be Sinner's first.
Yeah, in a fairly convincing fashion, most likely. Bomb plant going down. Extra 800 quid, it's not massive considering what they already have. They're just going to put the pressure on slightly, pull them towards Aras here, who can potentially do a little bit more damage, if not win the round. Forced forward thanks to the flames. Does take the one kill, which isn't a terrible result. But both of the ops remain in play. The purchases will be easy enough there for Beastie and Mackie to just get the drops. And finally, Sinners have welcomed themselves to the scoreboard. But as you were saying, sAw would have been happy enough of in regular circumstances, rather, coming out with 6 or so rounds on that T side. Even 5 probably would be a decent mark usually, but they're sitting on 7-1 right now, and they have a chance to immediately come swinging back because they have enough money to keep on buying for quite a while. Yeah,
absolutely. And this is the issue, right, where it's all well and good that Sinners have had a first round. They probably need to get the other 4 remaining in this half to even potentially be in for a chance. And that's just how good sAw have been so far. And realistically, are sAw going to allow them to get 4 in a row? Probably not. They've got plenty of money left in his back pockets as well. sAw are a different beast at the moment. Sinners cannot find a way to even scrape the surface right now. sAw, once again, lobby control taken. A little bit of outside presence, but the opening kills both go the way of Sinners.
Yeah, promising start once again to the round. No challenge really on those initial 2 frags. D-Stick beginning to wake up also. He's normally one of those players alongside Oscar that you'd hope to be towards the top of the scoreboard. And when that wasn't happening on Dust2, of course, was a very worrying sign. Went alive perhaps a little bit late here as well. Is it too late though is the question. 5-on-3, hopefully a round at least to be converted. As you said, there'll still be more work to do behind it, but it'll be a good beginning to this CT side. The problem is Marisco goes down to the player probing out Hut. I believe they're going to try and work their way back towards a ramp, it looks like now, hoping to have pulled a player away from there. And I think they were successful in pulling off the support. Mackie's made his way back up towards heaven. A kill though from Beastie in the meantime. Puts it into a 4-on-2, so Aras and ewjerkz have to make this work on their own, and well, it's looking pretty unlikely. I was going to say Aras had been pretty successful so far with the entries. Unfortunately, against the Opto, just can't make it work. It's all on ewjerkz. He hasn't really got the time either.
Oh,
both of the ups.
Too hard in that one. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this is still a very solid half and still plenty of money for the most part to buy back in. I think only really Story maybe takes a little bit of a hit here in terms of his investment. Potentially a Galil. But I don't think it's going to be too problematic, in all honesty.
I like that we're seeing the pause being called, though. Like, yeah, sure, it's 7-2. But we've lost 2 rounds in a row. This could still quickly spiral back to a 7-5 half. Sure, which would leave us still pretty good at the halftime. But you wouldn't be feeling great if you were to lose the 5 in a row. So the hope is to go ahead and bounce back now while they still have the economy to do so. Just about. Like you said, Galil going to be left in the hands of Story. Utility also could be a bit better. ewjerkz hasn't actually bought his yet though, so yeah, it will be not all that bad in the end. Definitely a buy that they can make work, and I'm wondering if they're going to go back to the quicker burst style that was quite successful for them in the early stages. We've seen a couple of rounds towards that A pump site where they were able to just overwhelm. Obviously now dealing with a little bit of a different story, considering there is an abundance of utility to go ahead and counter.
Goes outside. They're going quick. Outside smokes here. Muterius gets caught. Should be expecting a nade these days. And actually, sAw are trying to close these rounds too quickly now, and it's costing them. They're losing the opening 2 fights very quickly, and this is where Sinners are being gifted frags.
Yeah, I mean, it was just working so well for them, taking those initial solo plays back on Dust2 and also in the first few rounds here of Nuke, that I guess they've got a bit of overconfidence rolling at this point. They're going to need to try and start reining it in. As we said, it was the basics that they were pretty much perfecting. Now we're seeing some openings that are being exploited by Sinners. What a kill, though, from ewjerkz. Mackie caught off guard there. Initially, it looked like it was going to be perhaps a run boost across the angle, but that wasn't the case. Instead, it's the straight-up fights. Shock, though, going to be winning those with the AWP. Although the bomb is being planted down on that B bomb site right now. But as you can see, Story's pretty far away, hoping to catch one of the rotations.
Aristosh, 1v3. This one hasn't happened, isn't it? Surely not. They heard him. They must have. Yeah, I'm going to say. And he will be seen off by the AWP in the end. Sinner's going to get a third. This is okay. Money actually now might be a little bit fragile, in all fairness, towards sAw. So potentially, they might be tempted, even off the back of the bomb plant, to eco this buy for the last. Might be the play. But then, with the confidence of them, they might just think, oh, maybe we can do it alone on Galil's. Maybe that might be enough.
I mean, pistols, Tech9's body armor, I think, would be a better shout than Galil's. They kind of half buy. They get 2900, as you said, basically an eco for the final round to try and close it out 8-4, which would be still a really good scoreline. Not to mention, with the Tech9s, you can still cause some serious damage, although they're going to go Mach 10s. Okay, that's the heavier investment. I think they're going to take a similar approach, though, with 3 Mach 10s in play. Surely it's something quick.
Yeah. Let's see.
Outside smokes again put down, this time, though, not really looking to follow up with them. I think it's going to be a hook burst. Yeah, they have the utility ready to go over onto this A-bomb site as well, and they've pulled out most of the players. Mackie, he could be in trouble here. The molly goes down just in time, hooks himself in, gets a second frag out of it. And with the assistance of B-Stick, they have indeed successfully shut down this A push. No damage even outputted from sAw. Until now, that is. A little bit they're done on towards B-Stick.
Yeah, I mean, the decision to force buy in, I can understand it in the sense of it's just a confidence thing. They just think they're doing so much better. So in their mind, they're like, well, we can win these. This is more than enough for us. But it is now a tough spot that they're in. The Mach 10, I'm going to say, had a bit of an angle. The AWP will see off the last. Simple as that. 7-4 and probably going to be 7-5. So at the very least, Sinners have recovered a little bit. They've already done better than map 1. So, you know, it was pretty hard to get any worse, in all fairness. But they've already done better in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Tech9s there probably would have been the safer bet. They could have approached the round pretty similarly. Still had the utility, for example, and would have kept themselves maybe 1,000 or so, just so that they could have been going on to the 8Ks at the very least now. Instead, it's again, SMG is mostly one Galil on towards Roman, a little bit of a fake towards A, but the focus is indeed ramp, where I believe Shock sits alone currently. And pretty passive with the op. Yeah, not even actually watching this. So they've been given pretty much free access to this B-bomb site. And with the SMGs, now they can get themselves into places up close and personal where those weapons become a little bit more dangerous.
One goes down. That's huge. In a 5v5. Now all they have to do is play time. 10s, a P90, and a Galil. Not often you see the P90, but it has its merits. Mach 10 and Galil combine quite nicely. In around this door smoke, they are desperately trying to fight. And Oscar's trying to retake of an AWP is not easy. Numbers don't favor them. This could be sAw. This could be sAw getting their 8th. They've been desperately trying to do so. They might have just found a moment in which they have. Last man is the AWP, and he's about to get P90'd. He will. 8-4 at the turn of the half. We'll see whether Sinners can continue their resurgence after the break. All right, welcome back. Second half underway, 8-4. I don't know if 4's enough. It's potentially workable, but a pistol is absolutely a necessity here. If we don't, I think it's safe to say that we might be on track for a 2-0.
Yeah, and I mean, this has been a tremendous showing from sAw overall. Well-deserved 2-0 if they get it there, but I do want to see if Sinners could turn it around and bring us to an Inferno decider. It would be a fantastic showdown between the two. Damage done towards Shocker as they creep across outside. It was Story, I believe, who got the vision. Spots a ton of presence, so that should be called over to his teammates right now as they look to maybe just try and pick off even one. Unfortunately, so far, nothing on top of that initial damage really being done. Story's in trouble, gets caught on the wall. That is unfortunate. Morisco hunts him down on the Glock. Puts the initial advantage here towards Sinners in a much-needed round for them.
Yeah, they absolutely have to get this pistol. Sinners, if they don't, they're in a lot of trouble. ewjerkz could catch a couple of headies here, though, 'cause that's all he can see. Gets the first, but he will be traded immediately. ewjerkz gonna dance back towards the site. Has the support via single door as well. If they go down towards B, ewjerkz is here, ready to meet them. All he can see is the headshots. He's getting a couple more. Oh, ewjerkz. Surely not. Surely not the 4K. He's looking to close it out. He wants all 5. And he might just get it. The bomb trying to escape. Gets tagged, and ewjerkz says, I want my 5th. I want my ace. Oh, he has no regard at all for his own life either. Bomb tapped, not stuck. ewjerkz wants to fight. Oh, they give Beestick the 1 versus 2. ewjerkz gets a 4K, and Beestick gets one of his own.
I mean, they pretty much played it the right way. Obviously, ewjerkz maybe subconsciously wants the ace, but he's low health. He should be in the front either way. The problem is that second player still waiting down at the bottom of the ladder is just too far away. He needed to be ready on that ladder up as far as he could be, just to pop up the moment his teammate found contact. Instead, there was plenty of time for the crosshair readjustment, and on the Glock there, the headshot lands, and it's over and done. Sinners are able to just about scrape together that pistol round and keep themselves in play here for Nuke, as we see a force buy from sAw, which includes an M4. But this is interesting. Lots of pistols, plenty of Kevlar, not a lot of utility to back it up apart from these smokes, which will be used in an attempt to escape for ewjerkz, but it doesn't work out. The SMGs overrun them, flying down the ramp, and, well, taking control of B already, likely leaving no option other than to save right now for Story and Arrows.
I think our stars keep out of the Deagle. I mean, maybe the Deagle can stick around, but Story for definite keep that M4 alive.
He's got an AK now.
Yeah, I mean, now they both should stay alive. Only issue being, Aristar should be fine there, as long as he doesn't move any further forward. The question being, is Story? Oh, they get one. That's gifted. Oh, he's sticking around for fight. Aristar should get one of his own as well. At the very least, they're trying to make this a little bit more expensive. Smoke out in front of him. That should, for the most part, keep Aristar alive. Story, on the other hand, will actually get caught in transition. So, Aristar stays alive. An upgrade to an M4 there isn't the worst thing in the world, but it will be Sinners making this a 2-round game. Not a bad start to the T side. A failed force buy for sAw. It's now cost them. They can't really do a lot until this one. Sinners should, in theory, make it a 1-round game.
Yeah, bringing us towards a nearly tied scoreline, which looked almost unfathomable when we had, what was it, 7-0 at one point, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, didn't really seem like a scoreline that we were going to be seeing anytime soon. Instead, Sinners have finally come alive, even if it took a map and a half to do so. And, well, we'll see, because Aris still has a saved AK, which has already caused some damage. Shot goes down. He is able to, I believe, escape away back towards the spawn area. Only a single upgraded Deagle, though, I believe, to work with. Is that a P250 or a P2000?
At P250.
It is indeed, okay. Wasn't sure for a
moment.
What a
hang on.
shot. Okay. See, as I said, he has been the pretty much lead fragger here across these two maps. So if there was one player you wanted to have saved the AK forward, this is the man. And at the moment, you can see they're kind of caught up outside now, wondering about that AK. They know he's towards the garage somewhere still. And it looks like Oscar wants to try and maybe hunt it down, but he's being kept a little bit busy by the Deagle, just shoulder peeking back towards Hell.
I feel like Oscar's sort of advising to himself not to fight. Oh my god, Aristosh has got 3 kills this round.
And the damage.
Yeah, Oscar's, he sort of feels like he's got one foot in the grave here. And ewjerkz has picked himself up an AK. ewjerkz had a 4K in the pistol. I'm not counting this round out, not at all. Even Roman on just a USPS might be able to do some sort of damage here. The thing for Story, does he expect a Heaven player? Oh, I think he spotted one main. Yeah, now he should. Now he should. This is actually quite smart. The Story, he spots a main player, so he knows that there has to be a bit of a split coming through. He comes over, chunks him heavily, but ewjerkz AK, they're about to get eco'd. It's a 1v3. Risco has to save them. Look who's down here. He gets dinged. Oh my god! He gets full USPS, double dinged. They have been full eco'd. A saved AK and an eco around it. And sAw have won that round. That is a bad one to lose for Sinners. And in losing, they actually have to, at least with B6 money and double eco, I think they have to force buy here.
Yeah. As you said, Roman might just be able to cause some damage on that USP, and while he couldn't help with the fight up on the A bomb site, he knew he'd be pretty much useless with the USP if he tried to come up the vent. He could stay at the bottom of the vent to make sure there was no plan B for Sinners, and that worked out perfectly. 9-6, this is heartbreaking. It is, as you said, pretty much worst case scenario now for Sinners. They've got some rifles, sure, but it is not a great force buy, and if this goes south, likely an 11-round scoreline that's going to be on the board for sAw.
Yeah, you're all right. Because things are going to be broken over towards Sinners. They've lost the first.
Risco did cross the secret.
This is true. The only issue is the bomb's still got to get past ewjerkz. Unless they wait for Risco to go all the way. Oh my god, I was going to say. Materius had his back turned for a second. P250. Uses the flash to try and cross. Story. Gonna get caught. Lost man's Oscar. Molotov. Bomb picked up, but... what do you do? Where do you go for Oscar? Do you wrap Heaven here, maybe? There's a bit of a gap to work with. Yeah, up he goes. Not exactly going quiet about it either. In all fairness, smoke down. He wants to try and guarantee a plant. Might try and deny this. Irish. Oh, spamming. Can't deny the bomb going down, but he will deny the round. sAw are going to get double digits. And also they can go pick up the AWP here as well. So they get all the benefits that they need out of that one. With a bomb plant, even with a bomb plant, Sinners can't buy in towards this next round. They have to low buy it. So, like you said, it should still mean that sAw found an 11th.
Yeah, I don't think they'd really want to buy much more than a couple of P250s, and even that might be a bit too much if you want to ensure that this next buy is going to be as strong as possible, because it will potentially be their last full gun round. And it doesn't look like we're really going to see much of a purchase. I wouldn't have minded a pause here. They could have discussed the next round mostly, but also just kind of given themselves a bit of time to calm down. Try and get themselves in the mindset that they're going to need here for what will be a pretty difficult comeback. Group in lobby for the moment. Likely using this time to discuss, even without the pause.
Alright. Low buy. Basically Glocks. What have you got for us, fellas? Oh, it's a triple for Irish Dosh. Hey, a bomb plant, though, wouldn't be too bad if they get that. Story. And ewjerkz make sure that's basically all they get. A kill, a bomb plant. The round still for sAw. That's all that really matters for them. Up to 11, 2 rounds away from the map in the series. It would require something heroic from Sinners to get back into this.
That bomb plant did solidify this buy, though, so it ensures they get the op even on towards Oscar now if they want. So it helps them out massively. I mean, they put 0 investment in, so the 1 kill also was a decent pickup, but it has to be pretty much flawless from this point forward. A very difficult to come back on this T side is needed. Let's see what the op has to say about it. Oscar's been having a pretty solid performance here. B-Stick has stepped up as well, big time in comparison to what we've seen from him back on Dust2. They just need everyone right now to come alive. Morisco is one of those players that also looks pretty solid since he's been on the team. So if he can come alive, perhaps that's the difference that they need. Story, though, catches the booster as the op battle is won out by the CT side. Worst case scenario with Oscar already going down. Morisco does recover the op, but not really necessary anymore from Story. He's just going to sit back and be happy with that advantage they've already taken.
Shock. Holding for any CC aggression towards Heart, but for an opening kill for them, they don't actually need to get too aggressive. They can just look for information. Short Materials is doing pretty well. ewjerkz. And he pushed down towards Secret. He should be fine. He will be met with a Molotov, so I'll force him a little bit further away. He still can't hold for this Secret push, though. That's the main thing. Shock will deliver an important kill towards Irish Dosh. Waterman dropped. ewjerkz had the opportunity for 2. Can't get it. So they have cross now. Nade comes over, but it's a little bit too late. Roman's still good to deliver. But he dips down towards Ven. He could catch another. In all fairness, Marisco does get caught. Jumping in towards Ven. I think actually cost him his life. And Mikey goes straight back in towards the AWP. Story started the round and he'll close it. And he might just have done enough to potentially even close the map and the series.
Yeah, we talked about how the pistol could have turned things around for Sinners, but they just weren't able to capitalize on it, unfortunately. And now we're left in a position where at best they're fighting for an overtime just to take this map and send it to a third. Not a good spot to be in, and this buy is incredibly weak. Galils are pretty much the best that they have. Marisco has an AK, but he's been having a very rough game. Initial damage again goes in favor of the CT side as well with that spam through the door. Sorry, he's watching the right spot there, I believe. Didn't catch the player creeping out.
Ooh.
No, not quite catching out. I'm not sure. I was going to say, I'm not sure if maybe he popped up on the radar. He must have, because then he looked back and put the shot in towards that position. Ares is going to be pushed on the A-bomb site in the meantime, though. Bursting out from the hut. The trades again, though, are going in favor of the CT side, leaving Oscar and Mikey so low on health right now, and there really isn't anything that they can do about it.
What a showing. What a showing. 13-2 and 13-6. Saw pulling no punches, taking no prisoners in what was a dominant, a defiant performance out from them. And credit to Saw. They really just look so clean, so crisp all the way throughout that series. And sadly,